Earlier in the newscast, the city of Chicago will soon require proof of vaccination to visit restaurants, bars, and gyms.
Some in the restaurant industry are welcoming this new requirement, even if it means more work for them. Others are skeptical.
As I said throughout the pandemic, we will leave no options off the table when it comes to protecting the safety and well-being of our residents.
When the mayor announced a new public health order at City Hall, on the corner of Clark and Randolph,
there's no denying that we are in a fifth wave of COVID.
Now Chicago is following the same path as New York City and Los Angeles by enforcing mandates on people to quote-unquote get vaccinated. So beginning January 3rd of 2022, Chicago is going to enforce a mandate that in order to attend restaurants, fitness centers, indoor entertainment facilities, all occupants or customers or patrons are going to have to require to show proof of them being fully vaccinated in order to venture inside of these said establishments. Going after the same order that both New York City and Los Angeles implemented into law in their respective cities back in the summertime. If this coronavirus, now this new variant called Omicron, was absolutely devastating to the public, why is Lori Lightfoot in the city of Chicago waiting until the beginning of the year to enforce this mandate? If it was a very serious health hazard, or if it was a very serious safety and health issue, why not shut everything down immediately? Oh, let me forget, it's the holiday season. Christmas and New Year's is coming up. You know, people gonna be out here spending money for Christmas, and then right after Christmas, a whole lot of people gonna be partying for New Year's. Say they can't afford to fuck that money up. But as soon as the New Year's is over, they're gonna enforce that mandate. And then you have Lori Lightfoot having a press conference claiming that unvaccinated people, you've had your time is up. I guess she don't really follow the news like that as much as she is constantly in the news. Because guess what, Lori Lightfoot? Isn't people who have been fully vaccinated contacting COVID? And they're not getting it from unvaccinated people. They are getting it by spreading it from other quote-unquote vaccinated people. Lori Lightfoot. What happened to this mandate during the summertime for Lollapalooza? You allow people upwards to 100,000 people per day to attend that 3-day event. And I guarantee you, at least half of them wasn't even vaccinated. And if they did have cards, they wasn't checked. If this Omicron is a very serious issue, and if it's continuing to spread on the Rona, why aren't you declaring a state of emergency right now? Why wait for another 2 weeks? Because in 2 weeks, if the spreading of this Rona is getting worse and worse, it can get even worse during the 2-week span. Or you guys refuse to acknowledge modern nature and science. It is the beginning of the winter. This is flu season. Many people do get sick around this time of the year. That is absolutely unrelated to COVID. For example, last week here in the Chicagoland area, the weather got upwards to 65 degrees. I literally worked outside that day in that 65-degree weather. And then the next day it dropped about 25 degrees. Guess what? I got sick, had a head cold and strep throat for about 3 days. Wasn't no COVID, wasn't no Omicron, wasn't no other variant. No, I got sick. I took the proper fluids, the proper herbs. I ate the correct fruits. And within 3 days, my body and immune system was totally rebooted. And once my immune system was rebooted, now I'm back healthy and strong and back to normal all over again. Didn't have to go take no COVID shot for that. Didn't have to go get tested for COVID for that. I just used natural intelligence. Caught a cold, got sick, stayed home, got well, now I'm back up and running.
Some police officers are resisting COVID vaccine mandates, potentially leaving their departments and their cities shorthanded. The issue is especially acute in Chicago, where homicides are up 55%, shootings up 68% since 2019.
You can financially sustain a hit, then stick to your guns, take the hit, and we will. Sergeant, lieutenant, captain, or above who gives you an order to go in that portal is not valid. You are able to refuse that.
Lori Lightfoot, now that you're going to implement this into law for the city of Chicago, are you prepared to lose even more money? Because guess what? Just like how prohibition 100 years ago was supposed to stop the use and sale of alcohol, people still gonna party, people still gonna work out, people still gonna eat. I mean, you're about to make Netflix, Uber Eats, DoorDash, and OnlyFans and Facebook Live, Instagram Live, TikTok Live, whatever. You about to make them a lot of money, while in the process, these small business owners who were already suffering to sustain their businesses in the city, they're going to suffer even more. And then what the media does, they still pull the same old liberal media tricks that they've been doing for decades. They have a clip of a restaurant on the north side that is no way near affected by its loss of customers, its loss of service due to the road.
Today at the Yellow Rose Cafe in Jefferson Park, customers say they agree with the new mandate.
I've been vaccinated, I had the booster.
I think everybody should get their shot.
Make sure that safety comes first.
And staff members say they welcome the new mandate, even if it creates extra work. It keeps them working.
We need to stay open. There is no way we could shut down the restaurants. There's no way for any of us to survive.
Why didn't WGN and Channel 7 and Channel 32 show some of these businesses on the west side and south side that have been devastated because of the pandemic? They don't want to show that. The reason why they don't want to show that is because they honestly do not care about those businesses suffering. They would rather see those businesses starve itself out, go out of business, take the insurance money, go elsewhere, and then allow other Caucasian businessmen, businesswomen with potential business interests to come in and occupy those vacant spaces. This is the true meaning of gentrification. Study how this shit is going in New York and LA. Black people moving out, white folks moving in. But also, another thing that neither the liberal nor the conservative media is displaying. They're not showing that in New York right now, the people of New York City have been protesting against these mandates that requires proof of vaccination.
Hold the line for change and choice! Hold the line for change and choice!
I say without freedom, we don't have a country. Without freedom, you have nothing. Everybody should have the choice to make decisions with their own bodies.
Look at New York, for example. The mandate that the outgoing mayor of New York placed on that city back in the summertime, he's not even mayor anymore. He lost an election because of that. And now, it's got it so bad that the Brooklyn Nets, they now got to bring back Kyrie Irving, but he still can't even play in New York. So let me get this straight. Kyrie Irving can't play in New York City because he refuses to get vaccinated. But a visiting team such as the Washington Wizards, who have Bradley Beal, who is not vaccinated, he could come there play against either the Knicks or the Nets. As long as he don't go nowhere, he just stay in the hotel, he come play the game and dip. He could come there and play that game with no problem, but Kyrie Irving can't play. But now the situation has got so tense that they got to have him play on the road. I mean, here in Chicago, didn't 9 players of the Bulls had to they had to go to the safety protocols, to the point that the Bulls literally had to cancel 2 games last week because they didn't have enough players to play in any game. And out of those 9 players, 7 of them had no symptoms related to COVID. But because of these stupid mandates, they had to miss games. And now you're going to see a true ripple effect occur as a result of these mandates being enforced by a government and by a mayor who really don't know what the hell they doing. You couldn't even enforce the mask mandate that you wanted for the city. Want to know why? Because y'all got defeated by the largest union in the city of Chicago, the Fraternal Order of Police. Y'all tried to make those masks and those vaccination mandates on every city worker, and 12 wasn't going for it. They was threatening to take y'all asses to court, and y'all backed down. All you're doing, Lori Lightfoot, is for the people who are in Chicago, they're going to go in the suburbs and go to those gyms, those other facilities, those entertainment venues, and those restaurants and those department stores in the surrounding suburban areas. I would not be surprised within the next 3 to 6 months, you will see an increase of personnel here in Waukegan utilizing our facilities and bringing their financial revenue to conduct business here. Or they just might move up here. Chicago has been rapidly declining in population for at least the past 2 decades. So you still want to continue to move, force people out of the city? Pretty soon, Chicago gonna be the 4th largest city in America, not the 3rd. But you're saying that you care about people's safety and health. If you did, you would have shut down the city immediately. If you did care about people's health, you wouldn't have opened up the city so fast last year as you did. Wanna know why you did it? Because money talking bullshit run a marathon. The city was losing money. Y'all had to open it back up. Besides, for all the black people you showed on the news that were quote unquote breaking these curfews and stuff like that, you had a whole lot of them crackers in Lincoln Park being literally in the streets and in the park disobeying all types of restrictions. And what did you do about it? You said nothing. You ignored it because you in bed and in cahoots with them crackers.
Let's go on. Let's move on. Move on. Let's go on. Let's go. You want to take this virus back to your house and get your mama sick? Let's move on.
We can hang on good before this.
Hey, y'all that overdoing, y'all let it demand a screw. You talking about go home, you go home.
So, in conclusion, don't be surprised when these businesses lose out on a lot of revenue. Don't be shocked when you lose your bid for re-election, because in 2023, you're going to have very few people voting for you. You are clueless as to how the city of Chicago actually operates. This is a gangster city. Shut down these restaurants and force people to show their vaccination cards if they want to. Don't be surprised if they don't. And here's the thing. Y'all keep saying that unvaccinated people are the problem. Let's say I go into a restaurant and I'm fully vaccinated, right? And then they ask me if I got a booster and I say no. But it takes 3 shots to get vaccinated, right? Why do I need a booster? If the booster's only potent for 90 days, what's the whole point of getting another booster after booster? Your body isn't required to take all those shots at a certain amount of time. So if I really need these shots, if I really need these vaccines, what's the point of taking it if I get it and I'm still being in contact with it? Not by people who are necessarily unvaccinated, but by people who are fully vaccinated. They spread it in the NBA and those players are quote unquote fully vaccinated. NFL, the same thing. Do your research. Do your due diligence before blindly agreeing to these mandates. As for me, I personally don't need to come to Chicago. Because what you're doing, or correction, what are you allowing these politicians to do to have full jurisdictions over your lives? And it is unfair to the people of the city of Chicago to force this on people, to try to stop this spread. In the first place, if it's airborne, fix the fucking pollution that is ruining the air, that is causing people to get more sicker, that is causing their lungs to collapse more quicker, as opposed to just having people put on a mask and social distance and all that. Human beings weren't designed to be separated. We were designed to have close contact with each other. And insisting that these entertainment venues, restaurants, and fitness centers are the major reason why people are catching this stuff. At least at the gym I go to, ain't nobody caught no COVID. Why? Because we practice sanitary measures. Maybe perhaps y'all need to do the same in the city. Shut the shit down is only gonna make things worse. Be prepared to lose a lot of money. Be prepared to lose out a lot of customers. And be prepared for many people in the city to just go to the burbs like they've been doing. I'm out.
The judge's ruling does not end the standoff between police officers who do not want to report their vaccination status and the city, which is demanding that information from all. The head of the Fraternal Order of Police claiming a partial victory in a video released on social media.
Thankfully, Judge Mitchell heard our argument that we've been saying all along. This fight was about collective bargaining rights and the obligation for the city to go to the bargaining table and to arbitration.
The next step is to get this case before an arbitrator, both sides accusing the other of stalling. If there is no decision by December 31st, the vaccination requirement would be put on hold until the labor issue